And finally today, we have our final presenter, Estevez Polo. He's a Senior Director of Advanced Product Management for Palo Alto. He's going to talk to us about the quantum era, which is here. Been working all day. Typical. Let's see if that. There we go. It's working now. Super.
Awesome.
Thank you very much.
Okay. Hi. Can you hear me? Yes? It's okay. Thank you for joining me. Do we have any English speakers in the room? Yes? Okay. So then I will do it in English. Awesome. So welcome. So let me explain a bit what is this quantum era is here, okay, and how Palo Alto Networks can help you to work in this threat that is among us, okay? So let me give you a bit of context, and I will try to teach you a bit in some words that they are, from this world, because probably not everybody is used to hear them and understand what's a quantum computer, what are post-quantum cryptography algorithms. So I think it's interesting for you to know. Unless you all guys understand very well what it's quantum, how it works. Is there an expert in the room? You? So you can then help me, no? Okay. I will not go really deep, so you don't need to go run. It's okay. Okay, so as far as we know, with quantum computers, all the encryption that we know, that is based on RSA, Diffie-Hellman, electric curves, those could be broken, okay? So today we cannot do it because the capacity of our computers is not enough, but with the quantum computers that they are gonna come, it's gonna be possible. So we need to think that there are some governments that they need to store this data for periods of time and guarantee that that data was private, was not exposed, okay? So this is one of the biggest concerns that we have today. So how we keep that data safe without any breach. And then cybersecurity transitions, when we have to adopt new technologies with new algorithms, is nothing that is easy to do. Okay, so we need to start planning ahead. The change is going to come. And this is mostly when the year 2000 was coming. We need to prepare all the systems, validate everything. For the quantum era, we will need to do mostly the same. So we need to be prepared. This is a bit of background for you guys, because if I go straight to the presentation, probably you will die here. Okay, so let me be a bit speaking easy. So quantum computer doesn't work with bits, like that the computers work ones and zeros. Quantum computer, uses qubits. And inside the qubits, we have logical qubits and physical qubits. So physical qubits is when we trap photons, electrons, in some traps. We play with them. Those became the qubits. The problem with the qubits is that you need to be working in a really special conditions in order to work with them. So you need to be in temperatures that they are mostly absolute zero. Any interference can ruin the qubit. So for every amount of physical qubits that we call that they have prone to error, so we need to do error pruning, we get less amount of quality qubits that they are the ones that we are going to need to use to break cryptographic algorithms. So just to give you an idea, for every 10,000 physical qubits, we can extract around 200 high-quality qubits to play with, okay? So this is a very expensive process, and it's not easy. To give you context, there are two capabilities of the quantum theory that they are really cool. So one is entanglement, right? What it means entanglement. So you can entangle a couple of particles that they can entangle, and then you can send them to the other side of the galaxy or to the space. And as soon as you observe one of the entangled particles, the other one will change as well. Okay? So this is blow mine. The other capacity or capability of the quantum is the superposition. Superposition means that one qubit can be in a state 1, 0, or both states at a time, which is insane too. Okay, this is sometimes it's not easy to picture. Okay, but the state of the qubit could be 1, 0, or 1 and 0 at the same time. I'm not sure if you heard about the Rodinger cat, which is dead and alive at the same time, depending on how you see it. So this is another cool functionality of the quantum. Okay, now I will give you a couple of names that needs to be familiar to you from now on. One is Shor's algorithm. This is a quantum algorithm to be used with quantum computers. This is the one that can break algorithms based on Diffie-Hellman, asymmetric keys. This is the really issue. So if we have quantum computers, we can use Shor algorithm to break and figure that out, what was the private key used, and then decrypt the traffic. And there is another algorithm. You can see that they were created in 1994, 1996. So this is nothing that happened yesterday, okay? This has been around for many long time. So the Groover algorithm was targeting symmetric keys and hashes, and the functionality that has this algorithm is to break by half the amount of bits used in the key for encrypting. Okay, that means that if you are using AES, 256, with Groover algorithms, we can break it, to half of it, to 128. Keep it in mind because you will hear, from now on a lot of these two algorithms because I think that they are the base. And thanks to the AI, these algorithms probably they can be improved, or others they will rise really soon, and maybe they are even worse on those. Okay, so that is why we need to be ready. Now that you know what are the qubits, quantum computer, we know these algorithms. How many qubits do we need to break the regular algorithms that we use today to keep our data private, right? So every time that you connect to your bank, there is an SSL connection is using one of these algorithms to provide privacy and security to your communications. So based on IBM, Google, D-Wave, those are companies that they deployed and created already quantum computers, okay? So we estimate that we need quality qubits around 2,300 to break ECC, okay? We need almost 4,000 logical qubits to crack RSA 2048. This is the most commonly used algorithm today to encrypt, okay, in our industry. And when we had to embrace this new algorithm, with others, they were decommissioned because they were unsecure, it took us 20 years to do the transition from the legacy encryption algorithms to RSA. So that is why we're starting planning now, because we know it's gonna take time and it's not an easy task, okay? Are you still awake? Awesome. Cool. Is this so hard to get? Maybe. Yes, I get it. Okay, cool. So, so the last thing is to break AES 128, because as I said, you can use Shor's or Groover's algorithm to reduce it to half of the key. Okay, so at the end you are breaking only AES 128. So we need around 3,000 quality qubits to do it. Okay? Okay, where are we today? So this is the roadmap for IBM, and they are on target. They are executing every year. They say that they are going to deliver 400 qubits. They deliver. So we trust that based on their estimations, okay, by 225th, they are going to have CPUs with more than 4,000 qubits, quality qubits. So that means that we are not that far, to start being in trouble. So I think that it's now the time to start thinking, okay, what strategy we want to put in place to be quantum readiness. Okay, So experts predict that in between 5 to 15 years, depending, because maybe at some point we reach a point that scaling in qubits is so hard, so expensive, or we don't know yet which technology we need to utilize, maybe that will delay a bit this, okay? But if IBM keeps executing on target, in a couple, 3 years, maybe we are there. That doesn't mean that everybody will have access to one of those. But you cannot imagine how much money countries are putting, to develop these new quantum computers and all the technology around it. So countries like China, for instance, they are not focusing to have a quantum computer that they can do everything. They are focusing in building a quantum computer that is very good decrypting this algorithm, okay? Which is going to make them probably to reach that point faster than the ones that we are trying to came up with a quantum computer that can do everything we want, okay? So this is a really smart move to try to focus on solving one specific problem, focusing all your energy and money to deliver that solution. Cool. Okay. So this is the potential threat that we are facing, the quantum, the year of quantum. So we need to find a name. So the 2000 year issue was really noticeable. So now we have the year of quantum. What is going on? So we have facts. We know that today already these countries are redirecting our traffic to be copied, to be harvested. So if you harvest now your encrypted traffic, in maybe 3-5 years, I can decrypt them. If I can decrypt the traffic from now in 5 years, do you think that that information is still meaningful? Is it still valid? So I can take advantage if I see what you were doing today in 5 years from now? Probably yes, right? So that is why they know this, the bad actors know it, and what they are doing is harvesting now to decrypt later. This is real. So we found, as a vendor, we found this type of cases in customers, and we help them to protect. Okay, so there is a rising need to create new algorithms that they are not based in prime numbers, so they cannot be used by these Shor and Grooves algorithms, and they will be resistant to these attacks, okay? This is what we call post-quantum cryptography algorithms, or PQCs. Those new algorithms that they can encrypt using different techniques than the ones be used with RSA, for instance, or Diffie-Hellman, and those they cannot just be broken by these algorithms. Maybe they will be broken by other algorithms, but not for those, okay? So this is really important for us, Palo Alto Networks, as a vendor, when we decide which strategy we want to follow to protect all humankind about this threat, is instead of building a solution proprietary from Palo Alto Networks, we try to work really close with all the governments, administrations, with NIST, to trying to generate the standards, influencing which standards will be the ones that we need to go to provide to the rest of the humankind. This is what we did. So we've been working with this maybe for the last 4 years. We've been working with NIST really close, with the US government in the White House. We were part of all the committees deciding what are the lines to follow for the whole industry. And finally, what we did is help some open source projects, like Leap OKS, to become the standard de facto, and is what the NIST is going to recommend to everybody to use, okay? We've been working with this for years. We were implementing this 2 years ago, and now technology is now ready to deliver these new algorithms, and all of you, by just deploying your Palo Alto Networks firewall, updating to the latest version, you will get a bunch of functions that I will describe in a minute. Cool. I'm not sure if you're aware, but probably PQCs, or post-quantum resistant algorithms, it's something that today we cannot decrypt, because the length of the keys and the type of encryption it's using, no one can decrypt it because it's so complex, so hard to do. That means that the bad actors are using these communications because they know that they cannot be inspected to exfiltrate data out when they breach on a network, okay? So it's really important to understand in your network who is using this type of encryption, and if it's something that you consent, or if you were not aware, then you should block that type of traffic. But probably you don't have any tool to understand this today and apply this remediation, okay? This is what I want to show you. So those are some cases. I think that these slides are gonna be shared with everybody. I mean, they're gonna be public, so those are a lot of cases. This is the more relevant, with someone in LA was sending traffic to Washington. They noticed that there was an increase of the delay of the communication, and then we figured out that the traffic was misredirect through China, where all the traffic was copied to harvest now, decrypt later. Okay, then you can think, okay, how many applications, security applications can be impacted by if quantum computer, is something that is gonna be here, decrypting my communications in 5 years from now, is mostly everything. All the security that we rely today, VPNs, IPsec, all the SSL, TLS communications, the communications that you use to reach out your bank or any government agency or whatever with this encrypted. Secure shell, that is a way to communicate remotely with your Linux or any host, honestly. Digital signatures, co-designing. So right that you open and download a file from Microsoft, you double click, you install because you trust that was signed by Microsoft. Now imagine that I can break that signature, like I create malware, sign as Microsoft, send it to you, you will just accept it, execute it, and be compromised, right? So this is really serious threat. Okay, why we need to take action sooner? So I still have time, okay, cool. So if I'm speaking so fast, please let me know. I have to be tight to the time. Even if today the bad actors, they don't have yet access to quantum computers, they are still harvesting. This is a fact, okay? And what do we need to do as a user? So we need to start thinking and creating a crypto inventory, okay? So we need to start identifying all your assets inside your network, which type of encryptions they are allowing to use, and everything in your network. I mean, they are going to be IoT devices that probably you will not able to update, right? To start using the new algorithm. So you will start thinking, I have to replace hardware, I need to replace this software. A lot of things are going to happen. We cannot wait the day that quantum computing is here and then we start thinking, okay, what do we do? So we need time to start thinking to create these inventories or your servers, different algorithms that you are using, and keeping inside an inventory. There is another aspect of this, that is all these new post-quantum cryptography algorithms that we are creating, they didn't prove yet that they are going to survive forever, right? So they need to prove these algorithms that they are going to work. So what means this? That maybe today we decide that our cryptography algorithm that we want to use is one called Kyber, and tomorrow someone, by using AI or whatever, finds a way to break Kyber. So now that Kyber is not safe anymore, then we need to start again. And okay, so now we need to be agile. This is what we call crypto agility. So in the new era that is coming, we need to understand our assets, which encryptions we use, and then be sure that if we need to change toward another algorithm, we can be quick and fast, and the change doesn't take 5 years, okay? So as you can imagine, this exercise is hard. Cool. Palo Alto Networks, okay? So cybersecurity leader. So we were working with the industry for a really long time now. We were helping NIST, so we try to be part of the standards. And what do we have? What can we offer you for all of our customers? For the problem of harvesting now, decrypt later, which is, again, is happening, what we provide is, first, last year, 2023, we released signatures, okay, that what they do is they can identify if someone is trying to use in your network one of those encryption algorithms. Okay? Having visit, you cannot protect what you cannot see. So when you see is when you can start taking actions, right? So We could even create security policies to say, okay, those servers, which I'm going to allow them to use these PQC algorithms, I will allow them to speak. But if another end user server tried to establish a communication using one of these PQC algorithms, just because we cannot inspect the traffic because it's going to be encrypted, I want to block it. Okay? So this is really important. What is happening today? Chrome, all the browsers, all the modern browsers, actually for the last 2 months, they added support for PQCs. So most of them, they are already offer you the possibility, if the server offers the option to negotiate PQCs, your browsers like Chrome, they will establish PQCs. So that means that that communication cannot be inspected. So if there is a data exfiltration, if there is a download of a malware, we are not going to be able to see it. On us, no one. Okay? So that is really important, that seeing, we can take action and prevent this to happen. Because if we prevent that communication to establish the session by using PQCs, by default the system will fall back to regular SSL or TLS, where we can inspect inside. Okay? What else? So then, to achieve this, as I said, because we have decided to go with RFCs, with the standards, we implemented these 3 RFCs inside our firewalls. This is already in GA. That means that everybody can use it. You need only to install and deploy the latest 11.2 versions in PanOS. You will get full visibility, and not just full visibility. So we added support for RFC 8784, that what it does, for all the guys that you know how to configure VPNs IPsec, okay? When you are establishing an IPsec tunnel, the keys are exchanged, right? This is what if you capture that exchange, in the future you'll be able to break and figure that out, the private key. But with this RFC, what we are doing is adding another round, okay, to derive the keys exchange with another pre-shared key. All the endpoints need to know the same pre-shared key. That pre-shared key is not sent across any channel and is used to derive the latest phase of the encryption key. That means that the first key is exchanged, but then is derived with a pre-shared key. So that is the key that is not exchanged, the one that is going to be used to encrypt and decrypt the traffic, which is secure. This cannot be broken with quantum computers and those algorithms, which is cool. It's an easy fix, to generate now a key that is not based in prime numbers, because it's adding a string into the equation. The other 2, what it's going to do is, if adding this pre-shared key is not enough, and we want to be agile, crypto-agile in the future, we can add up 7 different rounds of encryption with different algorithms on top of that encryption, which is maybe insane, okay? So let me show you, have 3 minutes. So this is the explanation of the RFC 8784. You see that they are the 2 keys that they are exchanged, but then derive at the end with a PPK string, which is the pre-shared key, okay? That needs to be known for both endpoints. And that are going to be the final one, which is not vulnerable to Shor algorithm. And then the last one that I was talking is now the best practice says that you could add an extra round of Diffie-Hellman plus 1 more PQC round. So you could choose using, your regular algorithm, Diffie-Hellman group 21 maybe, with the PPK, with the pre-shared key, and then add another run with maybe Kyber 512 that make it more robust. And you can add even 7 layers on top of that. So the K is going to be kilometric probably, right? But it's not going to be broken by any computer, quantum computer. If you're still alive here, it's awesome. Congratulate yourself to don't fall asleep, because this is, I know this dance, okay? I'm perfect in time. Those are some screenshots from the device. So this side of here is when you configure your iKey gateway. You can then see new options inside the advanced options, where you will see general, for the IKey version 2, general PQ, PP key. Here is where you're going to define your pre-share key if you want to, increase the security of your regular encryption. And then we have the PQ CAM, the key encryption, that if you enable it, then you can configure those different rounds of encryption over there in the Ipso crypto profile. There is something really cool too that we are going to maintain with content updates, that if you enable this block IKey version 2, if vulnerable cipher is used, we know by a fact if tomorrow Kyber is unsafe, we can automatically let our firewalls know that that is unsafe. I'll let you know to make a change to pick a different algorithm. Okay, so we are going to keep track of all these changes. So to wrap up, it was dense, I know. So we need visibility. Without visibility, we cannot take any actions. Okay. So again, we introduced visibility for these algorithms last year, 2023. We enhanced the logs. So now the logs, I can show you here. I'm not sure if you can read anything. They will tell you what is the algorithm in use, if they were able to establish, if this server is offering you this. Again, now you have the option to block all the communications to those servers that you don't want to allow this type of encryption just because it's insecure. You cannot take any action. You don't have visibility, right? So you need to trust that the server is doing what they have to do, but you cannot always trust in anyone. So apply the signatures for IPS to sanction which servers, which applications they can use this, and then forbid access to any other servers by using these algorithms. And I think that, I think this is it, mostly it. So this is something real. This is nothing that is going to come in the next 6 months, in the next year. So you can download today 11.2 Panos. PanOS is our operating system. You will have access right now to improve your VPN IPsec, to increase the security, by leveraging these 3 RFCs. Good? So thank you.